You're listening to the Round the Blind podcast with Ben and Levi. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit subscribe for more content. Now let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this edition of Round the Blind podcast. So I have been still on the teal grind. I had an interesting hunt over the weekend. It was actually on the last Friday. So today is just Tuesday that we're recording this. So it was last Friday that I hunted, and so we went out in the evening, set up for teal. And I mean, I'm not a big afternoon hunter. I know Levi hunts afternoon for deer quite a bit, but I'm just not really into it. I've never really had a ton of success afternoon hunting, and I just don't have. I'd rather hunt in the morning. That way, I can still have a day after I hunt. If I hunt in the afternoon, I feel like my whole day is taken up. But we went out and it was a good time. So we sat there. We had about an hour left, and look up, and there's about 20 geese coming towards us, and it was the last day of early goose season here in Virginia. And so we're out there with a teal spread, man. Like we are. I've got sixes in my gun, and the guy that I'm hunting with, he's got sixes in his gun too. And these birds come and they land in the middle of our teal spread in the kill hole. About 15 to 20 geese landed middle of a teal spread. No goose decoys, no calling, no nothing. So they just sit down, and we said, we're with sixes. There's no way we're going to shoot at geese in the air. So they hit the water, and we hit them with the sixes, and we killed 3 out of them. But you're thinking 15, 20 geese, we should have killed more than 3 geese. But with 6 shot, I'll take it. That's a big bird to kill with 6 shot.
See, guys, I don't think it was a coincidence, Ben, that our podcast we talked about decoy placement dropped Thursday, and you killed geese in a teal spread on Friday. You know what I mean? It's just we're just out here doing God's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, man, is I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, and that just goes to show that with waterfowling, you're learning all the time. You're experiencing all kinds of different things, and I mean, and you never know what's going to happen. I mean, we went out, we didn't have high hopes for killing teal, but we still went, and I mean, didn't see any teal. And again, man, the freaking wood ducks here, I've never seen. I mean, at least right now, this is my first teal season, the first hunt first time I've hunted teal here. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but this is the first season that I've teal hunted here. And I've never seen so many wood ducks during teal season ever. It's absolutely ridiculous. But it was a good time, and I mean, we got geese out of it. But just the fact that they sat down 15 yards into a teal spread just blew my mind. And I mean, I've never killed geese with anything less than BBs. So
yeah. I mean, our little average tip of the week comes early. Just maybe always carry a box of goose loads with you whenever you go out in the blind.
Yeah, man.
But I know you said something about me hunting afternoons, and man, it's like with deer, it's a little bit different because when you get a buck on camera, especially during the daytime, you gotta be out there mornings, midday, afternoons, just anytime you think that he can be strolling through there, because again, it's a little bit different with deer because you're normally after one deer or maybe 2 or 3 deer. With ducks, it's just like, oh, there's some. Let's kill those. But I am I'm not a big afternoon duck hunting kind of guy. I mean, obviously, at least not here. Again, like out west. I mean, when they're flying all day, it's a little bit different. I mean, when we were in Nodak last year, like we were killing ducks until like 11:30 noon, and they're flying like consistently. It was so weird, man. I get out here, like 2 weeks later, I'm ducking out here, and they fly for like 30 minutes, like the Woodies. Like the first flight of Woodies is like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, oh, this sucks, dude. I want to go back.
Yeah, man. But I've honestly never seen so many wood ducks. I mean, so like, I mean, I can caveat that a little bit. You know, I've been on hunts where
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of wood ducks during that hunt, or like I've been scouting, I've seen a lot of wood ducks like while I'm scouting that one time. But man, like I've never seen this many wood ducks throughout, several different hunts and in different locations. And I think that's what's blowing my mind. And so we have our early duck season where you can shoot everything but black ducks coming up on October 9th. So I'm hoping they're still here. You know, give them another week and a half, and I hope they're still here because man, the wood ducks are absolutely insane right now.
Yeah, man. Like we said before, we're not really too picky on what we're killing. So, I mean, a wood duck shoot would be fun as hell, man. Maybe get you a stud drake and get it for the wall while you're out here. But
Yeah,
does Virginia, do they do like a week, like a Veterans Weekend, whereas like after season where it's only open for veterans? I think Virginia, South Carolina has one. I think it's like in February sometime. I don't know.
I don't think so. I haven't seen one, so I don't think so. But it'd be awesome if they did. Like I said, I've never seen anything that says that they do. I think that would be an amazing thing to do. I didn't even know that there were states that did that. I feel like it's something more states should do.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, I mean, it's deer hunting is a little bit off topic, but there's a WMA here. Um, it's it's open for gun, but you gotta have a kid with you. So I mean, only like, so if you and I go out, we have to bring our kids, right? Not anyone can just no one can just like walk in and set up. Just you have to have a kid with you. I think that's kind of cool too. It's kind of incentive to get kids and stuff like that in the outdoors, which is really good. I can't
Abs-
remember the name of the WMA, but it's it's here in the Low Country, which I think is an awesome idea.
Absolutely, man. I think that's something that should be widespread all over the place. But how old does the kid have to be? I can't take my 8-month-old out there, my 7-month-old out there.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've seen kids as young as like 5 killing deer here in South Carolina, so I don't know. And again, like kind of go back to when we were talking with Jason, he was saying like you have to be 10, and you were like 10 years old to hunt like big game, and then you said something along the same lines. I was thinking about it. I was like, I was in like 4th grade when I went through the hunter safety class in Kentucky, and that's just the damnedest thing, man. And I was like, man, is that more common, or am I just not remembering things correctly? But no, like there's kids, like yeah, there's kids here. I don't know if they might have like a little apprenticeship license, but I mean they're 4 or 5, or like they're like 5 and 6. 7-year-old kids out here, and they're killing them. They're getting their first deer. I'm seeing it on
Yeah.
SC Deer Hunter. So I don't know, man. I mean, I think
Yeah,
as long
man.
as you're with like a supervised adult. I mean, if you're 6 and you can shoot a 223 or a 243, have at it, man. Go to town. But again, it's
Absolutely,
like
man.
we were talking about it last weekend and or last week, and the kid or the guy had his kid with him, and he was sitting way too close to y'all. I mean, it's just not everyone is going to be as responsible as you or I, or
Yeah.
majority of people in the woods or on the water. So, but yeah, I mean, if it's a responsible adult, take them with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. But I mean, I can't remember my exact age, but if I remember right, in Illinois, if you were under the age, man, I can't remember the exact age. Either between 13 and 15. I can't remember the exact age. But between 13 and 15, if you were under that age, you didn't have to have a hunting license. I don't know if it's still like that now, but I know like you didn't have to have a hunting license, but I mean, you could go with your, with your parent or guardian or whoever. And now as far as like what deer tags and all that stuff you needed, I couldn't tell you that. Like I don't know if, I mean, I assume they still had to get a deer tag, but I know there were different like youth deer tags and stuff like that as well. Um, but yeah, we didn't have. I mean, I think I was, man, like seventh grade. I think I want to say around 13 when I went through the hunter safety course. So and that was just so that I could hunt on my own. Be
Yeah.
my own stand.
So I think it's under 16. You don't need a license, but you still need tags.
Yeah.
Man, and I thought, man, I took advantage of that crap too. And man, like especially when I was like 15, like 14, like I was like old enough to know, but like I was
Yeah.
still like not old enough to be, actually like adult age, I guess, or even like, yeah, okay, because you're not even like at 17 or 16, you're an adult, but you're not like, like really like a kid anymore at the same time too. So I was like my last youth, and I'm like, man, I really need to take advantage of this
Yeah, man,
before
of
I have
course.
to. It's that one extra weekend, especially in states like Kentucky and Illinois and Kansas, where you don't have 4 months gun season like you do down here, or even 2 or 3. Um,
Yeah.
just a couple weekends, really,
Yeah, man. In
and
Illinois,
then
you
you
have
have
you have 5 weekends, I
two
think, in
muzzleloader
Illinois.
seasons that are a Saturday and Sunday. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that. You really have to take advantage of it. But yeah, it was so nice to have it. Like, especially when the game rolled up, I'm like, yeah, got to check me. I'm not even have a license yet. But now when you go out there, like, crap, do I have everything? Do I have my
Yeah.
tags? I'm not licensed. Do I have, what I mean, like X, Y, Z? So speaking of game wardens, I talked to my good buddy Jeff Day. He's gonna be on next week talking about things he's seen a lot, what you can do as a sportsman to kind of like mitigate tickets or kind of stay on the right side of the law. So um, he's one of the good ones. He's not out there trying to nitpick tickets and get money out of you. He's there trying to actually do what the game wardens were supposed to be doing, just like catching the poachers, you know what I mean, and doing the right things. So I'm looking forward to talking to him. I feel like that's gonna be a really good episode to listen to. Because I was just picking his brain a little bit the other day when I was talking to him. It's just like some people just don't like just think. You know what I mean? He said he gave one
Oh
guy a
man,
ticket,
not at all.
and he was on a WMA land, but it wasn't open for turkey hunting. He's like, well, I wasn't sure, and I was about to call you. And he's like, well, that's the difference. He's like, because I know here in South Carolina, there's like a 1-800 number where it's like 24/7. It's available. It's open for people to
Yeah.
call in. So I mean, everything is at the tips of your finger, to find the answers. And I always think it's funny too when I'm on like SE deer hunters or duck hunters, and someone's like, "Hey, when does gun season come in?" Or "Hey, when does the first split start?" They're asking people, you know what I mean? It's like, just type that into Google.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure Virginia DNR will pop up, or SC DNR, or
Yep.
Illinois DNR, like whatever state you're hunting, like it will pop up. If you just type in Illinois duck hunting, DNR is
Yep.
probably gonna be like the first, like one of the two that's gonna pop up on the search engine. You click it and you scroll
Yeah.
through, and
Yeah. Or even if you just
if
go
you
to the
look through
DNR
it,
regular page, you can
yeah,
click. There's a hunting seasons link usually at the top of the
yeah,
page.
yeah. And I understand like there's some laws that are kind of hard to interpret. Um, and then that's when you call. You know what I mean? That's when you
Yep.
call that 1-800 number and say, "Hey, I'm looking on y'all's website, and I know it says this. do you mind to clarify this up, or do you mind to? I'm still having trouble interpreting the law, and then I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you. But if you just say, you call them and say, "Hey, when's deer season start?" They're gonna be like, go screw yourself, dude."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, we're gonna have him on next week, which I'm looking forward to talking to him, kind of picking his brain a little bit. He's gonna be on Tuesday, so I'm gonna have to switch up and um, do another one with just us two and put it on the beginning of the week, so we can put him at the end of the week. Um, 'Cause, we were talking about earlier, guys. I'm gonna be in the woods a lot here in the next couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
um, I need to end the drought, man. I need to end it. It's been far too long since I've killed a buck, so I'm gonna be hunting hard. I'm gonna have to do a podcast from the tree stand.
Yeah. I think if we during hunting season, I think it's understandable to our listeners if we miss, one during the week, or if we
Yeah,
have
we
just
might
one
just
during the
do.
week, or yeah,
Yeah, maybe
so
during
like
hunting season we'll cut it down to one and
yeah,
do it once. We kind of
so
alternate, like 1 week with the guest, 1 week without. I don't know. We'll
yeah,
figure it out.
we'll figure it out. We'll think about it, but we're definitely going to be busy now. The hunting season's coming in, so
Yeah,
yeah, and
I'm sure just like all of y'all are too.
absolutely, and
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can fault us for taking some
Yeah.
time
Right.
to go get out in the woods or get out on the water. But I'm excited to talk to Jeff Day because it's not very often that you run into a warden that wants to share information to help you. A lot of the times, and I think we all kind of have bad experiences with wardens where they're just doing their job, and I can't knock them for doing their job. But
Yeah.
as we talked to past guests and as we've kind of talked between ourselves, you run into some wardens who are they want to get a big ticket, or they want to get a big charge, or they want to do something that benefits them in their career, so they're not as willing to help you or give you information. They kind of put that out on you to get information. In Virginia, you don't have a 1-800 number. You have each region of the state has a DNR office,
Yeah.
and that DNR office, you can call them and you can ask them questions. But we just called the DNR office a week ago, or I did, my buddy did, call the DNR office to see if we could hunt a specific location, and they actually gave him the number to the warden that works that county. So I
Oh.
mean,
Yeah.
he called directly to the warden. I
Yeah.
mean, she was busy, you know what I mean? So like, it's not like she answered right away. I mean, she's got a job and she's got a life too. So it took two
Yep.
2 or 3 days for her to get back to him. So that 1-800 number would be awesome, and if that was out there, I would definitely use it. But man, in every state's different. But Virginia, um, I think anybody who lives in Virginia, they there's always complaints about Virginia being out to get you, or being out for the money, or being a cheap state. And I mean, cheap as in like the state spending
Yeah.
money, but Virginia will take as much money as they can from you. So I I think that there's all kinds of different laws, and there's all kinds of different stuff that kind of get you hemmed up with stuff like the blind laws here that we could spend 4.5 hours talking about. Um, but there are just some things that get kind of ridiculous, some things get kind of crazy, but you've really got to put in your time, and you've really got to put in your research, and time with the water, and your scouting goes into it, and really make sure you're legal here. But I'm excited to talk to him because I think there's going to be tons of good information to get from him. But yeah, so I know you're
Yeah.
chasing
For sure.
you're chasing that 9 point that you put up on your social media the other day, man. He's looking
Man,
nice.
I'm losing sleep, man. So he was there Friday, and I was gonna hunt. He was there Friday evening, on base. He can only hunt like Monday, Wednesday, Friday evenings, um, Saturday and Sundays in the mornings and evenings, and then like holidays. Even if it falls on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, um, holidays are open to hunt too. And I was gonna hunt Friday, Looked at the wind. It was blowing straight downwind for where they're going to be at. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna push my luck. Sure as shit, he was there. It looked like he was chasing does. In the video, it looks like he was definitely looked like he was tending to something. And there was about 3 or 4 does on my corn pile I have there. So he was definitely, it's starting to kick in down here in the low country at least. So Cass is going home back for a funeral on Friday. So I'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to hunt without feeling guilty about not spending time with the family. So I'm gonna hunt as much as I can. And I just got my boat back today actually from getting the running boards and the guide boards replaced. And I need to finish installing my depth finder. And I'm trying to think about time because I'm hunting tomorrow, and then I have that project manager class on Thursdays, and then I'm hunting Friday, and I'm gonna hunt Saturday, and then I'm like, man, I need to get the boat ready because I want to go scouting too. It's like, well, I can work on it in between hunts on Saturday and Sunday. I'm like, oh wait, college football's on Saturday, so I'm like, it's a tough one. Not enough time in the day, man. But no, I'm planning on knocking out Sunday, the depth finder in, and hunt Monday, and then try to go find some ducks on some Tuesday. So we'll see if we can find some. But yeah, man, like the deer hunter in me is kicking in, and I'm just laser focused, man. Like, but
When's your
I
duck
don't really
season
miss
come in?
anything anyway. South Carolina, so
When's your duck season come in?
man, I don't even know to be honest with you. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I plan on hunting really hard until like Columbus Day, and then on the 13th I'm going to Virginia for my bear hunt, and then I'm there for a week, and then I get back, and then I'll probably start. Man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
The one I really look forward to is second split. Anyway, that's when I really start hunting hard. So I
Yeah.
probably won't really even duck hunt until second split. That's what I normally do.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, this far south, man. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be local birds and all that, but I mean, we've talked about it a million times before. It's weather dependent, so I really don't touch a call until, well, I practiced throughout the year, but I don't even think about ducks until like Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yes, I can't do that. I can't wait. I would rather go out there and sit and not see anything, not doing it, but at least I'm out there. At least I get the feeling as if I'm hunting. I know you deer hunt, so I know you've got something to take up your time. But for me, I don't. So like every year I say I'm gonna end up deer hunting. I say I'm gonna do some deer hunting. I never end up doing it, just because I can't take. I don't bow hunt. Um, I have a bow, but it's an old bow that was my dad's. And my dad died in 2000, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
So I have this old bow that was my dad's, and I keep saying that I want to kill a deer with that bow before I get a new one. And every year
Yeah.
I always talk about doing it, and then I never end up doing it. I never end up going out. I think I've taken that bow out 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And I just never end up doing it. But what I usually do get out a couple of times during gun season, but I don't ever have any luck. But I go just to get out. But after bow season's over, man, it's duck season, and I'm just not going to take the time out of duck hunting to go hunt deer. I just can't do it. It's just I'm not able to. But so that's why like I I just hang out.
See, like as
I just
much
hang
as
out in the boat, man.
I, I love like the three main things I hunt is deer, ducks, and turkey, right? In that order, right? And I love all of them. There's certain things I love about each one. Like I love shooting deer, right? It's because I feel like with ducks you shoot more, so with the deer it's a little bit more like rewarding, I guess, in a way, because you don't shoot I mean, the majority of people don't shoot the number of deer as you do ducks, right? And
Right.
ducks and turkey they're pretty much the same way because you can work them. They're very responsive, and that's the thing I like about deer. I mean, unless they're really like full on rut, you can't really they don't talk back to you. They're not as vocal as like turkeys or ducks. But man, it's like the I'm even though I'd rather go duck hunting and I like it more. There's just something like I can't not deer hunt if that makes sense. Even in
Yeah.
Virginia, like when it was just the very like the worst deer hunting I've ever experienced, and it's not because it was the state of Virginia. It's just I couldn't get out there and scout all the time as much as I wanted to, and so I'm just going in blind and hoping I get lucky.
Right.
It's just and I can't just stop. You know what I mean? And even like guys, I think we've talked about it before. Just there's guys who come across like in the service, and they're like, "Oh, you hunt?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." He's like, "Man, I hunt back home, but when I go in the Navy or when I go in the Air Force, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Nah, man. See, this is too this is too big of my life to just stop."
Yeah, and I don't
And
understand
like whenever
that.
I'm in my life, I told her straight up, I'm like, "Hunting is my first love." So I'm like,
Yeah, man.
I told her up front, man. And there's a guy at work, and he's actually putting in the time. Like, I took we were talking about deer hunting, and he's like, man, he's from Iowa. He's never hunted before. He's from Iowa. I'm like, dude, that's like
Yeah, man. You're missing
mega
out.
butt capital. You know what I mean? Like, there's some
Yeah.
big butts coming out of Iowa.
You're
He's like, yeah, man, it's just his dad didn't want to go, and then he took it out like on the coldest day because he kept asking him. So he took it on the coldest day, not the right gear, and he tried to just
yeah.
get him to where he wouldn't want to go again, which is really jacked up.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to him like, hey man, I'll say the next couple weeks are gonna be prime. So you need to be out there. He's like, yeah, I'll see what the wife says. I'm like, yeah, can't relate, dude. Can't relate.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But he just started getting into hunting, so he's gonna either have to break her or something's got to give.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. How are you from Iowa and you've never hunted? Man, like you've got prime everything. I mean, you've got prime deer hunting, you've got prime duck hunting, you've got prime
So,
turkey hunting, you've
yeah,
got everything you can ask for in Iowa.
yep.
And so like I just don't understand how you can be from Iowa and never
So I
hunt.
mean, it's just
And I don't understand how you can hunt previously, as you said. We've both met these people who hunted, before they joined the Navy or before they
right.
joined the Air Force or whatever, and then they get there and then they don't hunt anymore. Like I don't understand that either. I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to figure out how to hunt. Like Virginia, like it's not what I'm used to. It's not what I like, and it's not like I don't want to hunt in Virginia for the rest of my life. But I'm also not going to be in Virginia and not hunt. Like I don't understand how people do that, and they just shut down. Like, all right, I'm here. I'm not going to hunt until I get back home.
Yeah.
I just can't do that, man.
I mean, so when I first got into the ship, it was in December of 2014. It was, people were like, obviously they hear the accent, like, oh, so like they start talking about my accent, where I'm from, and they get on topic. A lot of times I hunted, like, oh, we need to get with such and such. He's a big hunter. I'm like, all right, cool. So I come up to him, like, hey man, it's like calling to check in, whatever. I was like, people say you hunt. And I was like, I'm not just checking in. I don't have any of my stuff here. I was like, do you think I can just go with you? Like, I just want to go and just sit. You know what I mean? Because getting coming from boot camp to like your job training school, and then you're that's cool to your first real season. This is very stressful, and it's just lots of like you once you get acclimated to one spot, you're getting moved again. So
Right.
I mean, I was just looking for an escape. You know what I mean? I didn't know anything about Virginia. I didn't have a vehicle yet, so I just wanted like an escape from the ship. Because you live on the ship where you work, you should be you eat where you shit and shit where you eat. And it's just
Yeah.
an it's an awful experience living on a ship. So and he's like, nah, man. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't want you knowing where I hunt. I'm like, one is public, and
Yeah.
like two, and I was just like, I don't even have a gun, dude. I don't have a bow. I don't have to go buy clothes. I have none of my hunting clothes here. And he's like, no, maybe next season. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, man.
okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's some of those people out there.
There
Just
definitely are,
whatever,
man.
but
Yeah, I mean, they're entitled to keep their spot secret, I guess. And I mean, and like we've said, we've talked about this, you know, and we can go on and on about this. I mean, we completely understand people keeping their spots, and we completely understand, people keeping certain things secret. But there's also something to the community, and there's also something to, taking people, especially in a military environment. And I think this is something that I think when we talk about it, it comes from that place. It comes from the place of, military. We're moving around, going place to place. So it's very hard to get in with the crowd. It's very hard to get people to go take you hunting. It's very hard to enjoy really this sport, because you you don't know the area, and you have a whole lot of trouble finding people who are going to show you the ropes. And I think that's why we talk about that kind of stuff so often, because it's difficult. And I think if you don't have those people who are willing to show you the ropes, it takes you a couple of seasons to really figure it out, because coming from Missouri to Virginia, completely different. Going from Virginia to South Carolina, completely different. My best friend Tyler Gale, he went from Illinois to Kansas, completely different. Went from Kansas to Texas, completely different. So when you go through those phases, it takes a while for you to figure it out. And if you're not able to network, and you're not able to get people who are willing to, to
yeah,
help you out, it's going to take a long time. And I think that's really why I'm against the whole, like, this is my spot, get away from it, don't ever talk about coming with me because I'm not sharing my spots, kind of thing. I'm not saying take me out to your secret spots. I'm not saying take anybody out to your secret. I'm not specifically me. I'm not talking about, I don't expect anybody to take me hunting. But if you have somebody who needs some help, or needs, you don't even have to take them hunting. You can just show them, talk about the baselines. You can talk about some different laws in the state. You can talk about just some stuff that they need to know that are about the different area. You can point them in the direction of WMAs. You can kind of talk about some differences. I'm not saying, here's my entire playbook and this is the exact location that I hunt. But like in your scenario, he could have very well said, look, like, I don't want to take anybody out because I have a spot that I hunt regularly, or like I'm on these certain deer. I'm on this certain deer, and I don't want anybody else kind of talking about it or showing it. But if you're looking at getting into something, you know, here's some steps you can kind of take. Here's something that would help you out in this area. And I just think the whole, like, screw you, I'm out for myself in the hunting world, it is gonna lead to this, it is gonna lead to the downfall of the sport, because we're already decreasing. There's already people, there's already the next generation who hasn't taken up hunting. It's slowing down every generation. So if you continue to push people away from it, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna run out of it. And so, I mean, you already see, you know, the East Coast having a 2 mallard limit. You already see, restrictions being put on certain areas based off of stuff that, a lot of us feel and deem unnecessary. So as you start to push people away, you're only going to cause, more stuff to get pushed away. So I definitely, I just can't see it. I mean, you're not going to have people who are going to show up as, when we talked to David Strickland, if you haven't listened to that episode, what I'm kind of talking about right now definitely goes along the lines of that. But if you don't have people showing up, to these legislation meetings or these town hall meetings and all this stuff who are advocating for hunting, then we're going to lose it. And so as you push people further and further away from it, like these people do, you're not going to have the people that are there ready to stand up for this and ready to fight to keep it, because it's something that is important to all of us. So I just don't understand this whole sentiment of, screw you, I'm looking out for me. You can definitely have your, I'm going to keep to myself, but still help benefit everything else that kind of comes with it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, it probably wasn't even public. It was a private. It was the lease. So it's not like I could go up there anyway. But I mean, you said about like 5 minutes ago. You said I came from Iowa and not hunt. The same thing with me from Kentucky. I mean, I remember in high school, I think like junior. Yeah, junior. That was my last bow kill. I killed it though. It was an awesome shot too. 40 yards. I missed the first one I shot low. And she started, because you know where I was at, so she circled around at 40. I'm like, whatever. I didn't come this far. And I had to not to take another shot. I shot her right, like her right on the shoulder, and right in the Boilermaker. She goes down. I actually took a picture of her laying back, and I posted on Facebook or Instagram. I think it was Instagram. And a guy screenshotted it and then posted it on his Facebook saying, I don't know how you can, one, kill these animals, and then two, brag about it on social media. And then I wasn't friends with him, but one of my friends was and forwarded it to me. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, I kind of got shitty with him. And it's like, you don't have to follow me. You don't have to be my friend.
Yeah,
you
man,
don't like
don't
it.
have to see it.
You're more welcome to. I mean, I'm not that type of person to like unfollow or unfriend someone because of their views. I have to be really extreme for me. Like, all right, I might mute you. I might say, I need to take a break from me for a while and press the mute button. I'm not. I mean, you got to be have some pretty extreme views. I mean, you're like, all right, man, I do not want to see this. I want to decline friend request or remove friend.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm the opposite. Like, when I get on my social media, like, I know how I feel. I know how I think. So, like, I like to see stuff that I'm gonna generally enjoy seeing, not something like that I want to see something that's gonna make me think, you're an idiot. Like, even if even if I don't agree with them, I understand that there's importance on understanding, point of view that you don't necessarily agree with. I'm not saying that I'm completely like, against, having a conversation. It is when I get on social media, I want to see stuff that I generally agree with. So I will, like, if somebody starts putting a bunch of stuff on there that I think is dumb, I will. I'll hit that unfollow in a heartbeat, man. But
you're pretty far left, right? You're voting for Biden. You say you're about to watch him on the debate, right? Go Biden.
I'm hoping Joe Biden cries.
Man, so I saw something. I mean, we're not gonna get too political here, but I saw something where he has to take like speed to stay like focused, and that's why Trump was asking, or that's why Trump wanted the drug test.
Yeah,
is just to see if he's on like taking the pills or not. So after like that first hour or so, I was really interested to see like how he's answered questions, like the first 30 minutes, an hour, and then like the last 2 hours or so. So I'm really
well. You saw that
really
he was asked.
But
You saw that he was asking for, because it's a 90-minute debate. So you saw that he's asking for several breaks, within that 90 minutes. So like, he's just trying to replenish, man.
But
I mean, we won't get too far into it, but I can.
Yeah, right.
We could probably.
But again, we're not trying to get too political here because we are a waterfowl hunting podcast. But yeah, I always like to make a job then here and there. I was gonna post his logo, but I didn't want to spark you guys, so I'm still debating. I'm still debating. I'm posting
So
Grinch's pubes.
so let's be honest, man. For it being, a 20-minute project on Microsoft Paint, I, I it's
I think you
bad.
can draw something better than that, Ben. I think we need to add to it and say. I think we need to add to it and say, be a dumb diver. It just has his little face in the little A-frame for it.
Oh man. The funny part is I know how bad it was. I said it to Levi. I said, "Hey, you think we can use this? Should I put it as a
God.
Facebook profile picture?"
Make it like a temporary, or it's only for
Yeah.
like 4 days or so, then it goes back to the original one.
But oh
But yeah, Ben,
man.
I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you for finally killing something this year. It took you long enough, but
Hey
I'm
man.
happy that
It took
you finally
me
got on some birds.
3 hunts. So I mean, it is what it is. We ran into some other guys at the boat ramp whenever we were heading back, and they were saying they hadn't seen nothing but wood ducks either, and they said they couldn't believe the amount of wood ducks they were seeing too. And they've hunted here. They're military. They've hunted here for 4 or 5 years, and so they said that it's just the amount of wood ducks here right now are completely ridiculous. And they said they only saw, they thought, one group of teal, but they were too far off to really tell if they were teal or not. That's kind of what we were doing too. We were seeing some groups far off, but we weren't positive they were teal. But it's just absolutely ridiculous the amount of wood ducks. But and these guys, they were talking to us and saying that, kind of the same stuff we always talk about when we talk about hunting Virginia. There's some days where it's on, and there's some days where it's just almost not even worth being out there. But you go out there anyways. But you have that anywhere, right? But I think you have more of those on the East Coast. But we're I think you branch out, you scout, you figure out your areas, you figure out what you're doing, and you kind of know and the area that I found,
Yeah,
it's not tidal. So that's I'm pretty excited about that, man. The tides, hunting tides is miserable. So there I found a spot. It's not tidal, but it's still part of the the it's still supplied by, it's still connected to the ocean. The water still branches out, but it's so far back. It goes through so many different waterways that the tides don't affect it. So um, you can still get out on it and find some. There's still blinds out. There's still some of that other stuff out there, but I'm pretty excited about it just because I'm done hunting tides. Done, because tides are miserable.
yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of it too is just the right place, the right time, man. It's just, I mean, beginner's luck. I feel like that. I believe that. And I believe in beginner's luck. You know what I mean?
Oh
There's so
yeah.
many different stories of people coming out and for some deer hunting or duck hunting, and people pulling up bands on their first bird or killing. I have a little 6-year-old kill like a 18 point, like a 160-inch deer. I'm like, I put in
Yeah.
more time in 1 year than you've been alive, kid, and you're killing this.
Well, I think there's
Yeah,
something to the
again,
the ignorance is
I hate
bliss
to go
saying,
back to it, but the black duck was the perfect opportunity of the right place and the right time. And then the geese with you. Obviously they like something, and I don't think y'all knew that those geese were coming through. If you did, you'd have had goose floaters out there to try
yeah.
acquiring some goose floaters. You know what I mean? So, just sheer luck is always involved too. I feel like every time I go out, I just have bad luck for the most part. But that's neither here nor there. Um, and kind of just going back to, you know, once that cool attempt hits, it just seems like something in all our brains. Um, it's just like it's hunting season. right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
brings me to my next point. It's just I had a friend that I told him I got the boat back. He's like, hey, you want like you want to put a fishing trip on through TFO? I'm like, no, no. I was like, fishing season's gone, man. Like it's hunting season, and it's
Yeah.
just I've seen when in Virginia when we were hunting that bay where we're killing them birds out of. We see like people out on the
Oh
main
my
channel. They're
gosh,
like
man.
fishing, or when we put in that one day, and the boys were. I mean, they're catfishing, but they're in their truck, and it was like 30 degrees. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it's like when I think of fishing, I think of summer. I think of summer, and I think of summer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
spring and like after turkey season to like September. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's fishing season. That's my fishing season. I don't care how good it gets. Cause I know, especially in like North Carolina, Virginia, um, fishing gets really good in like November and December, like when it gets cold, like the blues and all that,
Yeah.
the bluefish. But it's just again, I can't do it. Like I'm
No,
a
man.
hunter first, and then like a fisherman second. You know what I
Look,
mean?
man.
And I love to
Fishing.
fish. I love catching fish. I love eating fish. But catching fish does not come remotely close to killing animals.
Absolutely not, man. Fishing is an extracurricular activity. Like that's the way I see it as fishing. Hunting, like I'm going hunting. Like there isn't an option. It is hunting season and I'm doing it. I am obligated to go hunting. And there's times, man, where duck season gets over, and I'm sure our listeners, can definitely relate to this because but there's times where the last day of hunting season comes, I hunt that day, and the next day I'm like relieved. I'm like I I don't have to hunt. But then like give me like a week and I'm like, I want that to come back. I want to go hunting. I'm ready for
Yeah,
duck season to come back. But that last day of duck season, man, like, well, I mean, it's a grind. You start to like not want to wake up, and you're like, man, I feel like I have to. Like, but then like as soon as it's over, you're like, oh man, hunting season's over. Until it hits you that hunting season's over, and then you're depressed again. But I to go back to what you're saying about kind of like beginner's luck, but I think ignorance is bliss, right? Like I think if you don't know, oh, if there's certain aspects to hunting, and there's certain aspects to everything that if you don't have the knowledge to know, hey, what you're looking for, or you don't know like the knowledge of, hey, the more decoys I have, or the more profiles that I have, color profiles I have on the water, or the more like call cadences you can do, or the more different styles of calling that you can do. Um, and then you go out and you don't know all that stuff. Maybe you have a dozen decoys and a cheap duck commander call, and you know how to do some simple quacks, right? And you go out there and you shoot a limited ducks over a dozen cheap flambeau floaters that maybe you bought from a garage sale for $5 versus and like I said, you have a cheap duck commander, call, and you just go out there and shoot a limit. Whereas the guy who goes out there with 5 dozen Dakota decoys with 200 with a $200 um, you know duck call, a lanyard's full. They go out there, they don't kill anything, but they see tons of ducks that won't decoy or won't finish. And I think like I said, ignorance is bliss, because that guy who has all that stuff, he thinks that he's in the mind of the duck, and he thinks he has all this stuff, and he's really just putting more stuff out there that the ducks get to pick up on, that kind of makes the ducks a little more weary. Whereas the other guy, he keeps it simple. He doesn't really know as much, and he goes out and kills a limited ducks. To me, it's interesting. But
yeah, absolutely.
once you have the knowledge, you can use that knowledge to make what you do better. And so I definitely think, and the same thing with deer hunting, man. Like if some guy who isn't following trail cams and doesn't know the exact time that deer comes out and feeds in front of his stand, and um you know some dude just wakes up in the morning, goes sits in a stand and hopes something comes across, he's gonna be in the right place at the right time. But whereas again, the guy who's running the trail cams knows that deer's every move, goes in there, and that deer now knows something's off because that deer is there every single day. He misses out on that deer. So it just, there's something interesting to it. And I just think there's a psychological, or I guess you can say psychological, concept to it that I think we could break down and go into a lot more detail over it. But I mean, it's pretty awesome to think about. And it kind of makes you want to go back to those days of not having all that knowledge. But at the same time, you're like, why would I do that? Because I was so stupid. You think about all the mistakes that you made through the learning process, and it just kind of helps you grow as a hunter. And it's more enjoyable, knowing what you're doing. It's more enjoyable knowing what the birds want, knowing what the deer want, or knowing what any game that you're after, wants. So again, like, just the ignorance is bliss, man. It's just an interesting concept.
Yeah, and we talked about last episode. It's just, it could be like the more you know, the more you keep thinking to it, and it could be as little as a limb falling, and it's put the deer off, and you're like, did it wind me? Did it see me? Did what I mean? Like, did something flare off, or flare, like spook it? And you're just, and then saying like the beginner hunter is just like, oh, well, maybe another one will come out. You know what I mean? But speaking of lanyards, I actually won Jason's giveaway. I'm getting a new lanyard in. So I'm getting a Kentucky blue and white. Got to represent, even though they lost on Saturday, which is horseshit at SEC officiating. But that's neither here or there. Can't blame it all on the rest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it. You should be getting pretty close to finishing up. So maybe I'll just maybe I'll give them the old one away. I'll sign it, maybe. Who knows?
That's awesome, though, man.
But yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I mean, I was planning on getting one through him anyway. Or usually getting one period.
Hell yeah.
So I might just do it. Maybe I'll give it away on the page, just to one that doesn't have one. You know what I mean? They can. I just want to let somebody spend on, because whether they're getting into hunting in general, or if you're getting duck hunting or deer hunting or turkey hunting, whatever it is, it's very expensive to start up. Once you have things, it's easy to like maintain or replace. But it's like starting up is, a bitch and a half. And one of the things that somebody to buy would be awesome. So.
Yep, absolutely. But go, and if you haven't done so already, go over to our Facebook page, enter into the Tecton game call giveaway. That is something that we are still waiting to give away, and we're still excited to give away to the lucky individual. Because I mean, look, man, I want that for myself. And every day that we don't get to give it away, I'm considering throwing my name in the hat underneath a different name. But
just deleting the post and keeping it.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I'm excited to whoever gets it. So go over there, put that put your name in the hat, get that call, and then be active on our Facebook page. We try to be active on there, and like we've already said, with hunting season coming up, some stuff may diminish, but we're definitely going to try to be active on there. We're gonna share our hunts. We're gonna share what happens with you guys. We want you guys to communicate with us and tell us what's up. Tell us if you like the podcast. Tell us if you want to hear something else, and who you want to have on. I mean, who you'd be interested in hearing. We can definitely look into different guests and different individuals that you people would find interesting. So yeah, go head over to our Facebook page. It's just Round the Blind Podcast.
Or if you yourself want to come on and talk,
yeah,
shoot us a message, and we'll in general talk it over, see if that's something that we can do. I mean, I don't want to just have anyone on here, and I want to be able to put out good information to the listeners. So I mean, we'll definitely chat it up, see if that's something we can do. I mean,
Yeah.
Again, like I said, I say this a lot. We're doing this for the listener. So I mean, if there's something that we haven't hit on and you want it to be brought up, or you think you can bring something to the table that someone else doesn't, feel free to message us. Um,
Yeah.
my
And
personal accounts are some are scattered throughout the page. Want to send it to that, or you can send it to just the Friend of the Blind Facebook page. I mean, we'll both get it, and we'll get back to you. I know I'm probably more active on there than Ben is, on Facebook at least. So I mean, I'm usually pretty quick to respond. So
yeah, for sure. And like Levi said, I mean, if you have something to offer, we'd be interested in having you on. But this is a an average hunter show. So I mean, if you're an exceptional bullshitter and you can tell some awesome stories that people want to listen to, I mean, that, I mean, we've had a few of them on our show in the past as well who are able to share, exceptional stories and exceptional information. So we could definitely probably find a place for you. But we are also start tracking down um, our own guests as well. So we will. It wouldn't be like, hey, you're coming on tomorrow,
uh,
you know. Um, but but yeah, so check us out, Facebook, whatever podcast site you're listening to. Make sure to rate us if it gives you that option. Leave a review if it gives you that option, and be honest with it. If you don't like it, let us know what you don't like about it. If you do like it, let us know what you do like about it. We do check those, and we do want to be able to provide you the content that would be the most beneficial to you. But that's about all I got. Levi, you got anything else, man?
no, like you pretty much hit on the head. I wanted to close out this duck call so we can give it away. Um, we really kind of we kind of plateaued and trying to think of different ways we can promote it more, or whatever. But we're almost there, guys. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we actually give it away. Um, we might just have to give it away a little bit earlier than we need to, because like I do want to get this all out to someone before the season starts, so they can forward it in, driving to work in the truck or just at their home pissing their wife off. So definitely want to get this out there before season cranks up. So if you have to give away a little bit early, that's fine too. I know it's gonna take me a while to get all these entries figured out. So probably how the entries are going to go. Um, if you're listening to this, and there's one or two ways we can do it. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then if one person has 2 entries, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, and then the second person is going to be 4, 5, 6 if they have 3. So we can either do that, or I can put the total amount of entries, and then people can pick what number they want. So if you're listening, keep that in mind. Let us know. Um, as of right now, it's just if you're one, there can be one, and then however many entries is going to be underneath it, right? And then number 2 is going to start at that next number and go with your however many entries do you have. I think it might be better to have if you have 6 entries or 5 entries. I want it spread out a little bit, but if you only have 1 or 2, I guess it really doesn't matter. So just let us know. Like I said, I might go live. I might go live and do it, or I might just do the number generator thing. But we'll figure that out. Time gets closer, and I'll let everyone know. If it is something where I'm going to go live with, or Ben will go live, we'll give everyone a heads up, time, date, so that way everyone can, if they want to be there, they'll be there. So yeah, that's really all I got. Like we were talking before, we might be going down to just one episode a week, just for the time being until season, like you get to duck season, and then February rolls around, we'll probably crank back up to 2, maybe even 3, to fill that void of loneliness and sadness after the duck season goes out.
Yeah.
No, I'm planning to probably go back to 2, and we'll go back get reloaded. But yeah, again, please, like, Ben, we're going to say we're blue in the face, but please be active. If you ask a question, and if you see it, that one you posted about deal season, that thing really blew up, and we had a lot of interaction, and I thought that was awesome. But other than that, it's real hit or miss. And I've noticed more people coming in, and like I saw a guy coming in from California. I'm like, man, that's awesome. And I've seen a guy coming in from like Texas and another state I saw. I think I've been like Arizona. So we're getting. I like familiar faces. You know what I mean? Kind of like what
Absolutely.
Cody was saying at work. I was like, you need those people in different corners of the continent or the country or even the world to really get spread the name. So it's awesome seeing new faces. So I really enjoy that, and I hope they are listening. I hope they're just not going for the duck call. If they do, I understand. And when we give away this hat, it's not going to be share it. It's going to be tell us your favorite episode and why, or how it helped you this season. So we're going to find out who's actually listening to the podcast and who's not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right. Well, awesome. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening.